Hi guys and welcome to the Angry Microwave podcast. I'm Bradley Evans and with me this week we have the editor of the angrymicrowave.com, Callum Moran.
Hello everyone.
And breaking his podcast cherry we have Ashley.
Hi.
I forgot your surname.
Edwards.
Ashley Edwards, I've only known you for 3 years.
So unprofessional, eh?
So unprofessional. So Callum, what do we have this week?
So first of all we're going to talk about DC trailers because Comic-Con happened, Marvel weren't there, so DC had a chance to try and make some headlines.
And I think they certainly did, didn't they? I mean, talk about making the most of your opportunity. I think they stole it. Or did they? I mean, the Deadpool, in fact, what have you guys seen from the Comic-Con this year? Like, have you seen any of the leaked footage or anything like that? Have you watched any of the panels?
Actually? Well, I watched the leaked trailer for Suicide Squad, and I also watched the official one that got announced.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, and I watched the Dawn of Justice trailer as well. I heard about Deadpool, but I don't actually know a great deal about that. So.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about the DC panels then. Which one of the two trailers do you think we should talk about first? Or which one stood out for you? Or which one should you prefer?
For me, it was Batman vs Superman. As everyone's hailing it, it's one of the best trailers ever. Like, after Man of Steel, which wasn't the best of films, because it basically, the colour of that film is basically how bland it was. There was like no colour in it, like no like character. But coming to this trailer, it kind of makes it seem like a 2-hour prequel that makes sense now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the trailer gives that film so much context already about why it happened. Because at the time, everyone was a bit like, this is a bit iffy, but that film is going to seem better because of his trailer already. Like, I know if I go and watch like Man of Steel, I'll enjoy that film like a lot more. Like,
yeah.
Do you kind of think the same, or?
Yeah. I think the fact that you're seeing Bruce Wayne and you can feel that he's in this world, and I think you're right. I think Batman vs Superman, what it's going to do is make the first film feel like it's part of something bigger, therefore making that film a better experience when people go back to watch it. I mean, I loved Man of Steel anyway, but I truly think this is, even though they're not calling it a sequel, because it's not a Superman sequel, it definitely is. I like a sequel to Man of Steel. But for me, there's a lot of pressure on DC to get this right, because if they don't get Batman versus Superman right, then the whole universe collapses. This is the one they need to get, because if this fails, like going off what you said, Callum, about the Man of Steel not necessarily hitting for everyone. If Batman versus Superman is garbage, if it's rubbish and no one likes it, then they're literally they've got nowhere to go.
They've lost a lot of people.
And no one's gonna watch an Aquaman film. No one's gonna watch a Green Lantern film going forward. Therefore, everything they've got coming, it collapses, and it's what happened to The Amazing Spider-Man 2, in that because the second one was such a catastrophe that they couldn't plan going forward. There's no option for them to do so. But I'm very excited. I absolutely love what this trailer suggests we're getting ourselves into.
Yeah, well, like as a trailer as a whole, it's done what everyone wanted. Everyone's talking about it. There's so many theories coming off tiny things.
Exactly.
Like, you see the Joker suit, and Robin's suit, I mean, which is graffitied over, and there's already so many theories. Like there's theories that Jason Todd is going to be the Joker and stuff like that, because that whole dynamic would be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, imagine Batman fighting the person he grew up, who was the Joker. I mean, like, that tension would be something new that we haven't seen in a Batman film. But like, as a trailer, it's bringing questions like that we did, like, none of us had before. Yeah. So it seems to get people talking about it, which is what it would have done.
And I tell you what also made Batman versus Superman even more, high up there on the anticipation level for me, is when the Suicide Squad trailer was released. And
Definitely.
You see that this universe that they're creating is one universe, is coming together, and all of a sudden DC have gone from, DC are copying Marvel, everyone needs a cinematic universe these days, to them coming out and they look like they've got a plan that's theirs, it's not a carbon copy of what the Marvel Cinematic Universe is. But the Suicide Squad trailer for me, I think I actually enjoyed that a little bit more than the Batman vs Superman trailer.
Really?
Yes, because, and I think it's because...
I hugely disagree, and I'll explain why after you've said your point.
Okay, well, I'll make my point, and then you can both shut me down. Because, one, it's how can I put it? It's Suicide Squad, for me, I think they've got more room to almost be forgiven if they don't hit home. Because it's a Suicide Squad, you know, it's almost like what Guardians of the Galaxy was for Marvel. It's kind of, this is their universe, and this is this project, and if this doesn't go right, it doesn't really affect the overall picture because Batman and Superman are at the forefront of this, whereas Suicide Squad, they're all side characters really. But Harley Quinn, they've got spot on. I can tell you that like already, like that Margot Robbie, right? She is Harley Quinn, and that makes me very happy because
she does look fantastic in the trailer. Like,
it's in every way, mate, every way. Like,
it's the first film version of her, isn't she?
Yeah,
so
she's that important. Like you can't get that wrong. For me, I think she's more vital to get right than a Wonder Woman, right? But I think for me, that's how important she is. And then obviously everyone's talking for better or worse about Jared Leto as the Joker. It's clear that he's not going to be like anything we've seen before, for better or worse. Will Smith to me is Will Smith.
I think it's a Suicide Squad.
yeah. But the Killer Croc I think does look good, and I think the overall tone is what like a gothic Arkham should be. A film centered around characters from Arkham, and I just think they've hit the tone absolutely spot on with that trailer. I'm very excited for it. Ashley, shoot me down.
Well, if we're comparing both trailers, I have to strongly disagree. Like based on a trailer itself, I mean, I feel as though the Suicide Squad trailer kind of told us everything we already knew, and there was a lot of repeating of what the Suicide Squad actually was. And not a great deal of showing what they're going to do. I mean, go on.
But I think the Suicide Squad was a teaser, and Batman vs Superman is the first film that's coming out, so that's a trailer. And the Suicide Squad is the teaser for that film. That kind of makes sense because
It's a pretty long teaser, though, wasn't it? It wasn't just like a here.
I think we need to remember that trailer was never meant to be released. That trailer was originally intended for Comic-Con. Because
I suppose
it's like they always release like the juicy stuff for those people who wait 6 years in line at Comic-Con to get in for like a 20-minute panel. So that was never really intended for us. But I'm glad we got to see it. The thing that bothers me is that we've still got 12 months until these films come out. So I really hope they don't overload us with any more because I'm going to see Batman vs Superman opening day. I'm going to see Suicide Squad opening day, and for me, I think that's how you can tell that DC really have done a great job at Comic-Con this year because I'm there. I'm going to see these films on opening night, and I'm very excited.
Well, one of the interesting things was how they handled the leak trailer. Did you see the giant paragraph of text that came with? We've unfortunately got to do that, and yet when Marvel's Avengers trailer leaks, all they said was "Hail Hydra," and then one of us goes, "We're very unfortunate that this trailer leaked and stuff." I didn't really like how Warner Brothers handled it.
Yeah, it was the executive, wasn't it? Who's kind of like in control of all that stuff, and she was pissed. Like she was like, "How dare people leak our stuff? How dare 6,000 people who are in that room? How dare they take their phones out?" You know, like.
It really sends like a tone to like the fan community like us when they come out with that, and then Marvel come out with like a cheeky thing. It just seems like they don't fully understand their fan base yet, but they're going to learn, which I kind of think they're doing. Like they're learning as they go along with this whole process.
Yeah, I agree, but we don't know what they have planned. Like we don't know if the trailer they did have planned for us would be almost, if it was completely different to this trailer, then they now might not be able to release the trailer they have planned for us because they might be showing too much, or we don't know. We don't know. All I know is that it's a year away, and it's a year's too long for me to wait. Oh, also, right, Batman vs Superman was meant to be released 2 days ago.
I saw that the other day.
That's how
I was
long
watching.
to wait. It was meant to be released 2 days ago, but we still got 12
And
months.
Star Wars meant to be released in May. So theoretically, we should have had Star Wars and that by now.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say that I don't Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm really excited for Suicide Squad, and I think it's great. I just don't feel like I necessarily learned a great deal, or like looked at that trailer and thought this looks really cool. I'm really excited for this. It was kind of what I expected. Whereas Dawn of Justice, I mean, maybe you two have a different opinion on this, but I think the pacing of the trailer itself was fantastic. It had the build-up, like it had the context at the beginning, and it just built and built and built to like a massive crescendo of basically Superman ripping open Batman's car, and Ben Affleck covered in this like armor, just like squaring off face to face. Like, I just feel as though that ended in such a better, like a better way.
I see what you're saying,
and it got me way more hyped, I'd say. But saying that, I am still extremely excited for both films, and I think leaving the Joker right until the end of the Suicide Squad was almost guaranteed. Like, I was expecting that to happen.
I love that the only shot that we get of the Joker is a close up, and it's in your face, and pretty much DC are saying, okay, well, Warner Brothers are saying, right, this is who you've got. Okay, take a look at him, because we're not shying away from this character. We're not going to hide him, because obviously we've
and they shouldn't, yeah.
Of course they shouldn't, but obviously because there was a backlash from the publicity photo that's released of him, that they're pretty much shoving it in the audience's face and saying, this is what you're getting. You've got a year to get used to that.
Yeah, and I think that's great.
I love that. But either way, like, DC are definitely in a strong position going forward. And I'm pleased.
While we're touching on Comic-Con, we'll talk about the Star Wars trailer that came out, the behind-the-scenes bit. That was perfect for me. Like, we've had one meaty trailer, one teaser trailer, and then we got a behind-the-scenes. So rather than flooding it with like trailers that we see and see again, we did the perfect thing by going like left field and doing a behind-the-scenes video. And Simon Pegg is a creature. I mean, how great was it to see his face pop up halfway through?
Yeah, I'm pleased you brought that up, because for me that was a completely different tone, like, for what I was expecting to be released from Star Wars at Comic-Con. I'm glad we didn't get another trailer, because we've had two now. I don't want to be overloaded with new material. The tone of the behind the scenes featurette is almost made me cry.
It gave me goosebumps as the music started playing.
Yeah, it felt like an event, and it felt like something special, and that's what Star Wars is. The release of a new Star Wars film is something special, and that's what the featurette gave us.
Well, when we went to the Star Wars event in Leicester Square 2 months ago, which was hosted by Warwick Davis and stuff, and seeing that trailer and the panel for the first time, there were like grown men crying next to me when they say like Chewie, we're home. But every time they're doing so much fan service, it's like unbelievable to see, and they kind of understand now. And it just reinforces how much they understand their fans and what they need to do for this to be a big film.
And I think you're talking about that. If I can just relate that back to the DC, what we were talking about a minute ago, and it's that what a lot of the older generation don't seem to understand about all these superhero movies that are being released. To us, or well, to some of us, that's what Star Wars is for the older generation. Like, it's an event for us to actually see these films, and for me to see like a Harley Quinn on the screen, that's it. That's an event for me. So for people to kind of put that into context when they say why are all these superhero films being released, I guarantee you, if they could release 2 Star Wars films a year, right?
Well, they are in 2 years.
Exactly, yeah. And no one's saying that's too much. No one's saying, oh no, too much Star Wars is a bad thing.
Only if it's a good enough quality. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice quality for trying to like monetize it and speed it up and get that. That's the only like possible downside to that. But
well, clearly they care about quality because they acquired the rights 3.5 years ago. If it was one of the other companies, there would have been a Star Wars film within a year and a half of that bit about like decision being made. But while we're talking about Star Wars, Jurassic World brought the nostalgia factor for not a very good film and made massive numbers. Oh. Imagine the kind of numbers that Star Wars is going to make after Jurassic World.
I will bet you a pint that
Both of us.
Star Wars is sure. Star Wars is going to be the biggest film of all time.
By far. And I reckon the cinemas are going to be properly sold out for a week.
Yeah,
which we've never seen.
I want to take my family to see it on the IMAX, and I know I'm not going to get that opening night. But I'm going to have to wait a couple of weeks. Is it in 3D?
No, it's not in 3D because they're
Right.
wise.
You know, it doesn't have to be in 3D.
It's filmed in IMAX, though. Oh no, it's not filmed in IMAX. I think Rogue One's going to be the first film to be shot in full IMAX.
Oh, really?
Like Christopher Nolan filmed IMAX, but the whole film's going to be like that.
Right. Okay.
Which is going to be amazing.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk more about Nolan a little bit. A little bit later.
How long was the last one?
The last what? Star Wars?
Yeah.
It came out 10 years ago, May the 25th, because I saw it for my 10th birthday, and I was 20 in May.
Wow.
10 years ago was for last Star Wars.
That's just it, isn't it? The amount of time that the fans have been waiting for this. 10 years of Star Wars fandom just culminating in its next film. Like, do you think that it can live up to how good it's going to be? That's the one thing that I would say is that.
Well, they seem to be with the trailers.
When the Phantom Menace first came out, people were killing themselves and saying that was a good film. But I tell you what, the initial response to the Phantom Menace wasn't completely negative at all. Fanboys were seeing that over and over again because they were kidding themselves about how good the film was.
And how good Jar Jar Binks was.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. That goes back to what we were saying as well about the DC stuff, is that if they do get this wrong, you're going to have to wait another 10 years before you can do something like that, because the Star Wars prequels affected Star Wars so bad that I don't think they could have made this film 10 years ago.
Definitely.
I think it does affect the franchise that bad if you can screw up that badly. So there's obviously, like I was just saying, there's a lot of pressure on DC, and there's also a lot of pressure on this new Star Wars film, because if this is bad, then I'm not sure where we go from here. I'm not sure.
They've already started production on Star Wars. Like, they're filming the anthology film 2 weeks from now, I think.
Right.
So the ball is like moving so quickly that it'd be very hard and very damaging if this one does come out bad. But
well, either way, the money they make from this film, all Star Wars has to be is okay, and it's going to break records.
Yeah.
Or Phantom Menace bad.
It doesn't even need to be okay. It can be crap, and people will still see it. Like
exactly, yeah.
But let's not say that because I don't want to jinx it.
No, definitely not.
What I'm saying is, I hope the guys who made Jurassic World are happy with their record, because that's not going to be held for very long.
Ooh, you heard it here first.
yeah, there you go.
Anyway, so moving on to a different topic, because we like to go on tangents like that, going down 3 different topics in one topic, but that's fine. So
Topicception.
So we're going to talk about what we're playing at the moment. So I know me and Ashley are quite big gamers, and you're not that much of a gamer, Brad.
I will stay around anyway.
Okay.
So recently I've been playing Arkham Knight, and I finished it. That game is amazing.
Please don't spoil it.
and Bradley, for you need to play it. It's like
there's me. I'm wearing my Batman t-shirt on, and I'm talking about DC, but I haven't played Arkham Knight yet. So
it's like the storyline could have been a film, and there's probably going to be a super cut on YouTube soon of all the cutscenes, because it's amazing as a storyline. It's worthy of a film. It's literally like a 12-hour Batman film.
Well, because what I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm completing the others before I complete this one.
How far are you so far?
Well, I'm doing that after I've gone through the Assassin's Creed games.
You're going to be there forever.
I know. But I've heard nothing but great things about this game, and I'm very excited. So, how does it compare to the previous Arkham games?
Well, Ash, you want to take this? Because we've both played it, I think, haven't we?
No, I haven't played Arkham Knight. No, but
I really want to have played this.
I know a lot about it, and I've played all the games leading up to it, apart from this one. So
it's the best game minus the Batmobile.
See, now I've heard about that. Go on, explain it.
If you take the Batmobile away, it's fine. But it makes no sense. I'm Batman, doesn't kill anyone, but I've got this giant car and I run over people, and it stuns them, or my rubber bullets that are coming out of this giant cannon that would literally send people flying. Like, it just doesn't work, and it's really forced. But it's not bad. It's just very repetitive. But if you can kind of look over that, the game is a 10 out of 10. And the only reason why it's not getting 10 out of 10s is the Batmobile. So they've kind of like messed up there. But apart from that, there's so many twists and turns. There's so much backstory to the other two games plus Origins, but no one counts Arkham Origins because
was that made by a different company?
Yeah. So Rocksteady in the UK made Asylum, City, and Arkham Knight, and it was some Montreal I think made Origins,
Right.
Yeah.
which is why they're marketing the Arkham trilogy excluding Origins.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, because they're saying it completes the trilogy. I was like, it's definitely the fourth one, though.
Yeah.
So does this complete a trilogy? Does this feel like it's bookending a franchise without spoilers?
Yes, it definitely does, and the ending is perfect. Like,
oh, Batman dies.
I'm not saying anything. The ending is great, apart from it gets a bit irritating when you get to the ending because you finish the main campaign, but to get the real ending, you have to go around doing all the side missions and everything.
I heard about that. You have to collect all the Riddler trophies to get the alternate ending.
Which is why, if you go on YouTube,
just go on YouTube and watch it. There's no point.
If you go on YouTube, I think the video has only got 1 million views of the actual ending. Because people just cannot be bothered to do all the extra stuff, but it really just like worked perfect as a game and the end of a trilogy. And it's going to be interesting to see what Rocksteady does next because they're adamant on like not doing another Batman. So
money talks, my friend. Money talks. They will.
Well, they don't own the IP, so Warner Brothers will be making sequels and stuff, But Rocksteady, I think, will maybe go into a Superman or Justice League game. I mean, there's hints, kind of like in Man of Steel, with like the Lex Luthor stuff. There's all like hints like that in the Wayne Corporation, but basically the opposite way around. So it'll be nice to see the Justice League game, but we'll see where we go. So what have you been playing, Ash?
So I've been playing a couple of things. I mean, because God of War 3 is coming out. Well, has just come out 2 days ago, and I'm a God of War virgin. So I went on Amazon and spent £7 buying the first and second one for my PS2 because I didn't have a PS3. I had a 360, and I've been playing that. Surprisingly holds up very, very well. Like I was going through the game and I was like, it was pretty much fine. Like it was really ahead of its time, and I'm really excited to actually finally get to the remastered one on PS4. As well as that, I've been playing Grim Fandango Remastered. Now, have any of you guys ever played that game before?
No, but it's on my list of things to play.
Tim Schafer.
Words to me now.
So Tim Schafer, the guy who made Psychonauts, Brutal Legend, he made the recent Broken Age game, 2-part game.
Yeah.
This is basically his one of his best games, and I saw it on the store, picked it up for about £14 or something, and it is fantastic. Like the writing is brilliant, the puzzles are fantastic. It's hard, like the puzzles in it are hard, and I've not played something quite like it. Like the story, you play as this guy who's like this Mexican estate agent who basically you're dead.
You're selling it to me.
You're a skeleton Mexican style estate agent who is trying to basically ask dead people to take a travel package to the underworld. Sounds crazy, right? The writing and the puzzles are just so good, and I'm enjoying it so much. It's a point and click, pretty much a point and click. Obviously, you got your sticks, so you don't really point and click, but adventure game, and there's like multifaceted puzzles where you'll pick up like 4 or 5 different items, and you won't have to use them until about 10-15 minutes later in a completely different area, and you have to find the combination to do it. Now, I've been forcing myself to not look at any walkthroughs, and I've been stuck on some of the bits for like solid half an hour just staring at the screen, just like, I'm gonna beat this, I'm gonna beat this. And I'm about halfway through it at the moment, and there's like 4 different worlds, 4 different years, and each world is set in a different year, and the second year is set in the 1950s, and it is fantastic. There's casinos, there's like wise guys, it's such a good game, and it's a gem that you have to play. Like I can't sell it anymore. I love puzzle games personally. So this kind of thing, like the story, each character is voice acted superbly, and you've got like director's commentary that you can click on, and it's really interesting to hear that. And with one click of a button, you can switch between the old graphics and the new remastered graphics.
Oh wow, that's pretty neat.
So yeah, I mean, I can't really sell that game enough. I'm not supposed to sell it on here, but it's really quite nice to sit down and play something that doesn't require ninja reactions. Do you know what I mean? Like all this Twitch gaming has kind of it's not really my cup of tea. Like Call of Duty is just it's not for me anymore. Like this kind of stuff, and it holds up so well considering it was made like 10 years ago.
Does he wear a sombrero?
No, he doesn't wear a sombrero.
He's a Mexican not wearing a sombrero. I'm out.
No, he has a scythe. So, well,
Okay.
I think he's Mexican American. Like he's got he's like his name's Manny Calavera. So I'm guessing he's like half. But yeah, that's
a British name.
Beautiful British name. Yeah, no, it's a fantastic game, and yeah, that's basically I've been enjoying every minute of that. So yeah.
Okay, great. And Bradley, what have you been playing? Candy Crush?
No, what I do is what I do with games is what I do with TV series, and I can only do one at a time, but I'll kind of power through them. So I'm playing the Assassin's Creed games. I've just completed the first one.
The first one.
It's embarrassing how much I remember and how quickly I completed that because I remember so much. But the great thing about games is that you can go back and it's like a nostalgia trip. So I'm now halfway through the Assassin's Creed 2, and I forgot just how much I loved that game like 6 years ago when it was released. Like how much you can be in love with the game. And the difference between games and movies for me is that I'm a film fan through and through, not much of a gamer. But games, there's so many little things that you can pick up on that you didn't do beforehand. And I've got a bit of OCD with gaming at the moment where I need to hit that 100% completion mark before I move on. So like there's always little side quests and that you can do and how situations can change depending on what you do throughout the story. That it's almost like a new experience, depending on the game. But no, so I'm playing Assassin's Creed at the moment before I move on to the Arkham games.
You finished the first one, did you say?
Yeah.
You actually finished it. Sorry, I couldn't finish the first one. Like the second one was where the series just exploded. I think the first one, I thought it was quite monotonous. So the fact that you've done that, I have faith for you finishing them all.
Well, before you it's like it's 9 blocks, isn't it? It's like 9 leaders you need to kill. So it's very repetitive. But before I'll kill the leader, I would complete that sequence 100% before I move on.
Yeah.
I was going around, I was finding all the flags, and this again I remember where most of them were, and stuff. And we'll move on before I sound really
completionist, Bradley.
Yeah, so I'm playing Assassins at the moment.
We got Black Flag to look forward to, which is one of the best games ever made.
The only Assassin's Creed that I don't like is Assassin's Creed 3, and I'm dreading having to go back through that because that's the only game I haven't completed. And I have to get through that before I move on in the series.
Well, good luck.
That's funny because that's exactly where I stopped.
Yeah.
I got right up to before 3, and I was like, I'm burnt out on this now. And then Black Flag came out, and I'm like, I need to play the third one beforehand, but I don't know if I can muster up the strength to.
Assassin's Creed 2 is a great trilogy, like just an overall, even the cinematic trilogy, and the soundtrack's incredible. Like it's the first soundtrack that I bought from a game.
Oh wow!
I enjoyed it that much.
Must be good. Anyway, so we're moving on to our penultimate topic. So Christopher Nolan has reportedly, according to a cinematographer, I think he's in the next film, has got a screenplay done for his next film already, which is a very quick turnaround given that Interstellar came out November, and he notoriously takes time with his projects.
Mm-hmm.
But so we're going to talk about what we want from it, because he's done this massive sci-fi, and he's done some smaller films. So what do you think he's going to do next?
Well, my worry is that he's not going to go smaller.
Wow.
Because he hasn't done a small film really since I thought
Batman Begins is quite small, but
Prestige was in between Batman Begins and
I didn't realize it was in between.
Yeah, but if he goes to that level, in that it's, but by small I don't mean like budget wise. I think you can have a small film that's big budget. Ant-Man, for example. No spoilers. But that's like I just mean like a compact, like a nice drama, because he does that really well. But I don't think we're going to go smaller. I don't think we're going to go as big as Interstellar. But genre-wise, I don't know what I want to see from him. Sci-fi he's done, but I wouldn't be as opposed to seeing another sci-fi from him because Inception and Interstellar are both solid films. So I'm not too sure I'd be if he says I'm doing another sci-fi, I'd be like, I'm not going to watch it. I refuse to watch it.
See, the thing with budgets for Christopher Nolan is that Inception was made as a favour to him for doing so well with The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
The studio literally said, "You do your passion projects because you made us so much money." And Interstellar, even though it wasn't regarded as a great film, even though I thought it was a great film, like that made a proportionate amount of money, which was a hell of a lot of money. So I think the studios are going to be like, "Here's loads of money, keep making us films." So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Inception sequel would be nice, but it would damage the first film because it was perfect as a complete film.
I wouldn't mind a spin-off.
Work.
If it won't have DiCaprio, I guarantee. If it was another Inception film, it wouldn't have DiCaprio anyway. If it was like a film with Tom Hardy and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's characters, with those kind of leading it, I think that would be a nice little spin-off, but make it completely separate to the DiCaprio character. But with Inception, I don't think you can do the same again.
Well, especially because the questions that are asked at the end of it, which literally makes it perfect as a complete thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So adding to that could damage it massively. But one thing I would like to see, even though Christopher Nolan is one of the best directors ever, as you may tell, I like me and Bradley think he's a genius.
Oh, I agree.
And actually too. Yeah. One of the things he's regarded as not doing that well with is like character building, like being personal with the characters. So there's always massive large scales, but you're never like super personal with the characters. There's something small would be nice to see and maybe develop and show that side and prove he can do it on a smaller scale. Like I build relationships, kind of like Boyhood. Like there's a video online where he talks to Richard Linklater at the Hollywood Roundtable about time.
That's incredible. That's an incredible discussion.
Yeah, it's amazing. So seeing that those two, like if he could do something like Boyhood, like with the characters and that would be amazing to see something that small scale, but so on a big scale too.
Yeah, just if the story is condensed, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind anything he does, but I would like to see a bit more of a grounded piece. But he's always said that he wants to do a James Bond film. He's always said that.
Well, the rights for James Bond are going this year probably because they're going up for resale. So maybe Warner Brothers will buy the rights, and Warner Brothers are actually quite in with Nolan, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So, look at his little face there.
It's all going. A Christopher Nolan Bond film. That'd be amazing.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
I can't see him doing anything wacky and out there and unpredictable like a western or a horror. Like he's very much. Like an action kind of guy. Go on.
See, I would like to see him do something a little bit more wacky, like Memento and Inception. Both of those made me really racked my brain by the end of it. Like, fair enough, the Dark Knight films are fantastic, and I absolutely love them, but I didn't really feel like I was thinking a great deal. I was just processing it all. You know what I mean? I think his mind. I want to see what's in his mind. I want to see what else he has in there that he can just pry out and get us all thinking again. Because he's done it twice for me, at least. And I'd much rather see that than something, as you said before, a smaller scale, maybe a little bit more focused on something that's a little bit more topical and not quite as a broad, big franchise. Although I would definitely like to see a Bond film. Nolan Bond film would be epic, but
I think it'll be great. But they've got it's going to be awkward. I can't remember his name. Who's doing the Bond films at the moment?
Sam Mendes.
Sam Mendes. Thanks for saving me. Yeah. He's absolutely storming it.
Well, the thing is that I don't know if you know about this. It's reported last month by BBC. Is that MGM like the rights are up for renewal every year, and the guy that deals with all the rights for MGM has sold some rights to Warner Brothers recently, which is why I was getting excited earlier. So it seems that they're very in bed, and although Sony has made them a hell of a lot of money through it, it is very possible that Warner Brothers will get that, which is why it's such a huge possibility now.
Yeah, and the thing is though. I think if they sell the rights, it's going to look likely because isn't this Daniel Craig's last film that he's contracted to do, or the one after?
Well, all the contracts I think end on this.
So it would make sense if they're going to do it, just to kind of do it after this film, and they're going to have to start again anyway. But it's not like that's new for James Bond. I mean, there's a couple of films that they've got.
Just a few.
So maybe it'll be good for Nolan to maybe re-energize under his vision. But no matter what the film is, you know it's going to come out in like 2018. Because if you take 2 years to work on something, it's by the time it starts production and post-production and stuff, it's probably going to be a summer 2018 film that we're looking at.
Well, he's done a film every 2 years so far, because you had The Dark Knight 2006. No. Well, wait, I'll work backwards. so we had Interstellar 2014, Dark Knight Rises 2012, Inception 2010.
Well, okay, so I'm going to have to go the other way.
So it's been every two. I think it's been every 2 years recently.
Yeah, Batman Begins in 2005. Then you had The Prestige in 2006.
Oh, that was quick.
Dark Knight 2008. Inception 2010.
Yeah, that meant
Dark Knight Rises 2014. Yeah.
So maybe like beginning of 2017 is probably what it would be.
Possibly, but also it depends on release dates and things like that.
But yeah, so it is going to be really interesting to see what he does next, and
yes,
I'm pretty sure whatever it is, it's going to make several hundreds of millions of dollars.
And it's going to probably be an incredible film anyway. Because we done a review of Interstellar, and I wasn't particularly in love with it. I thought it was a good film. I watched it again on Blu-ray. Now that I knew the ending. Okay.
Yep.
And
it was better. Yeah.
It was so good. I really wished I'd gone back to watch it a second time at the cinema, because the experience that I got in the cinema was an incredible experience. We went to see it in IMAX, didn't we? It was an incredible experience. I just couldn't get my head around. I just wasn't in love with the ending of the film. Once you come to terms with that,
you stop worrying about science.
Incredible. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, we laugh, but as soon as you stop worrying about the science, everything, you can just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you for that, because I saw it in the cinema a week after and a week after again, and every time I've seen it since, it just gets easier to. It sounds stupid, but like you said, it gets easier to watch, and you enjoy it more, and you pick up on tiny things you didn't notice before, and all the, like, ideologies that go behind it and all that kind of stuff. But so we'll go on to our final topic. So we're going to recommend things to watch or play or do. So who wants to go first? Who's ready to go?
Ashley wants to go first.
I want to go first. Yeah, I've got some things written down here.
Oh, you've got a list. I had one film.
Well, I've got one. I've got a lot of words on here at the moment. I'm just trying to decipher it. Yeah, I mean, me and Callum and I have both played Rocket League, which for PS4 that came out, and that's really good, fantastic. It's a kind of a 4-on-4 football, but with cars, and you can, and your car can jump, do barrel rolls, boost. And you've basically just got to try and score, but it is probably the most fun I've had in the last couple of weeks, like playing.
You find some crazy ass games.
Well, it's free.
But it's free on PlayStation Plus.
It's free. That's the thing. And you literally, all you've got to do is own a PlayStation 4, and you can just play that game free. And like, so much fun. Like, there's leagues, obviously Rocket League, and you can create your own team, customize your car and stuff. I mean, so surprisingly a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I was waiting to play it thinking, this is going to be pretty crap, like trying to hit a ball into a net with a car, it's going to be awful. But really, really good. Like, the team dynamic of it is really surprising. And the only other thing I would recommend was Grim Fandango, which I've already spoken about, and I talked about how good that was. So yeah, that's pretty much my two. So go on, Rodney.
Okay, so for me, probably a bit of a cheat because it was an Oscar-nominated film, so that's an easy way out. But Whiplash, discovered that for the first time the other day. Grab it on Blu-ray. But it's an incredible film, and the ending, the last scene of that film, is probably one of my favourite endings in the last maybe 12, even 24 months of any film. It's just a perfect way to end that film, and just an incredible watch.
Okay, and mine is it's a Channel 4 series, and I think it's in America definitely, but I'm not sure what channel in America because it's one of those joint productions. It's Humans. Have any of you guys seen Humans?
I've heard of it and seen briefly parts of it, but not watched it all the way through. No.
It's so good. So basically, like these AI androids are then brought into everyone's home, like these robots, and obviously there's way more to the story, but I won't spoil it. But it's a 10-part thing, and I think it's in episode 4 or 5 at the moment. It's very critically acclaimed, and it's just brilliant. Like in the storyline, how everything looks, and there's some great actors in it too. So go and see that if you can, or wait for about a month, and then you can binge watch it, and it'll probably be on Netflix or other available sites.
Like everything else is on Netflix, isn't it? Yeah.
So that's it for the podcast. So podcast number 5, I think it was, probably.
We're getting there.
And also, sorry we've been away for a bit. Like we've all been at university, moving places. So we're going to be back. It's going to come out every insert day here. Probably every Tuesday from now on. So it'll be up there on SoundCloud, YouTube. And that's it. So where can they find you, Bradley, if people want to?
They can find me on the Twitter at Bradley_J_Evans and at theangrymicrowave.com occasionally when I'm writing for that.
Ash?
Mine's a little bit more pretentious and a bit flashy. My Twitter handle is @AshIsTheKing. All one thing. And yeah, you can find me on the Angry Microwave as well, because I occasionally write for them as well. So.
And you can find me at Seymour, CMOORIN, or on our Twitter at @OneAngryMicrowave. And I could go on with like those social links for the site, but if you go on the site, it's all on there. So until next time, bye.
Bye.